ionization energy or ionization enthalpy or ionization potential. Topic 3 is electron gain enthalpy. So these three topics we discussed. Okay, now under atomic radius condition. So listen here. Under atomic radius condition, we have types: metallic radius, van der Waals radius, covalent radius, ionic radius. So these all definitions with one example we discussed. So what are the units of atomic radius? So atomic radii expressed in terms of angstrom, nanometer, picometer. Okay, na? So conversion should be there. 1 angstrom to nanometer. It is 10 to the power of minus 1 nanometer. 1 angstrom, it is equal to 10 to the power of 2 picometers. So it conversion should be there. Angstrom to picometers, it is equal to nanometers also. Yeah. After then we discussed about important point, ionization energy or ionization enthalpy. There, the minimum amount of energy required. The minimum amount of energy required to remove the mostly loosely bonded electron from an isolated neutral gaseous atom is called ionization potential. So ionization potential, it is an endothermic process. Because of here, energy will be going to absorb. Energy is going to required. And energy will be required to remove electrons will be easily. So the minimum amount of energy required to remove neutral isolated gaseous atom is called ionization potential. So it is an endothermic process. So it is measured in terms of EV for atom, nothing but electron-volts for atom, kilojoule for mole, kilocalorie for mole. Okay, now 1 EV for atom, it is equal to 23.06 kilocalorie per mole. It is equal to 96.45 kilojoule per mole. So the unit is also important. Okay, na? Yes. So in ionization energy condition, it will be depends on atomic size, nuclear charge, screening effect, penetrating nature, electron configuration. These all factors also we discussed. Yes. After that, we discussed about electron gain enthalpy. Before going to that one, variation in periods and groups. What is the periodic trend? So in period condition, from left to right, ionization potential will be increases due to decreases in atomic size and increases in effective nuclear charge. Next one. In period, alkali metal atom has lowest ionization potential and inert gaseous elements have highest ionization potential. In groups condition, from top to bottom, ionization potential will be decreases due to the increase in the atomic size and increase in screening effect of inner electrons. These points alone we can remember. So while going down the group, number of shells will be increases. Nothing but automatically atomic size also increases, screening effect also increases, only decreases in ionization potential. Period condition opposite. After that, we discussed about electron gain enthalpy condition. It is an atomic property, so which gives an ideal tendency of the element to accept the electron to form an anion. So here, main electron going to accept the electron. Nothing but here, the amount of energy is released when electron is added. Amount of energy is released. Yes, total 66 members joined. Very good. The amount of energy released when an electron is added to neutral isolated gaseous atom of an element is called electron affinity. So it is exothermic process. It is exothermic process. One more point, remember, very important point. When an electron is added to uni-negative ion, please carefully listen. When an electron is added to uni-negative ion, energy is absorbed to overcome the repulsive forces. This energy is called second electron affinity. This energy is called second electron affinity. Nothing but here, what will happen? Energy is required. Which condition? When uni-negative ion is, yes, energy is absorbed. Energy is absorbed to overcome the repulsive forces. This energy is called second electron affinity. So it is the endothermic process. Generally, electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity is the amount of energy is released, electron is added. But uni-negative ion condition, when you can add electron, energy is absorbed to overcome the repulsive forces. That's why they given endothermic process. So they give an example. EA1 of oxygen is exothermic, but EA2 of oxygen is endothermic. So your units will be same. EA is measured in terms of EV for atom, kilocalorie for mole, kilojoule for mole. EA can be calculated indirectly from Von Haber cycle. So this topic will be discussed in thermodynamics chapter. Don't worry about Von Haber cycle. It is there. We'll discuss in thermodynamics chapter type. Next one is periodic trends. What is the variation of electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity in groups and periods? So in groups condition, electron affinity decreases from top to bottom. The atomic size will be decreases. Period condition, from top to left to right, electron affinity will be increases due to decreases in size of atom, increases in the nuclear charge. Same as ionization potential. So ionization potential, how it was there, periodic trends, same will be there for the electron gain enthalpy. So period condition increases, groups condition decreases. So the given reason also, due to one case will be atomic size will be increases, another case atomic size will be decreases. Next point. Next one is, so today's we'll discuss about electronegativity. Today's class. That is what I discussed until now. Yesterday's topic. Today's topic. What I will discuss is electronegativity. It is property. It is property of an atom in a molecule. Atom in a molecule. The tendency of an atom to attract the shared electron pair towards itself in a molecule is called electronegativity. Tendency. So look at here clearly once again. Someone waiting in lobby. So listen here. The tendency of an atom to attract the shared electron pair towards itself in a molecule is called electronegativity. Called electronegativity. It is a property of an atom in a molecule. So you can take one molecule. That is example. You can take AB molecule. You can take example is you can take AB molecule. So nothing but here A is there and B also there. Okay. A and B is there. So A and B. What will form? Here A is having one electron and B is also having another electron. Both also forming sharing covalent bond formation is there. Here covalent bond formation is there. What is the definition? Look at here. The tendency of an atom to attract shared electron pair towards itself. So here shared electron pair is there to attract towards itself. So here A will be more electronegative, means it will attract towards A self. Otherwise B is more electronegative, means to attract towards B self. That only they given. The tendency of an atom to attract the shared electron pair towards itself in a molecule is called electronegativity. Electronegativity is a relative property and has no units. Okay, na? Electronegativity, okay, na? No units. But we have ionization potential, we have units, and electron affinity also we have units. But electronegativity condition, no units. Electronegativity condition, no units. So look at here, the tendency of an atom to attract the shared electron pair towards itself in a molecule is called electronegativity. So here, electronegativity of elements are calculated from the values of bond energy. Help of Pauling scale, they are calculated. And one more scale also there. According to Mulliken scale also can calculate. Mulliken scale, Pauling scale. So with help of these two scales, they measured in electronegativity. So here no units of for the electronegativity. Again, listen definition. The tendency of an atom to attract towards itself. So towards itself. So here shade pair of electrons will attract towards itself, A side. Otherwise, shade pair of electrons will attract towards itself. So this you can say electronegativity. Yes. So highest electronegativity value is fluorine. We have 4. Next one is there. After fluorine, what is there? Oxygen we have. After then, oxygen we have. After that, nitrogen and chlorine also we have 3. After then, carbon, sulfur, iodine. After then, hydrogen, phosphorus. After then, cesium, francium. All points you can remember. So Pauling calculated the electronegativity of other elements by using this formula. By using this formula, they calculated electronegativity. So here Xa minus Xp it is equal to 0.208 through delta is nothing but here kilocalorie per mole. Kilocalorie per mole or kilojoule per mole you can write up. So calculation of electronegativity formula is Xa minus Xp square root of delta into 2.208. Here Xa and Xp are the electronegativities of A and B. Yes. Next one is otherwise according to Mulliken scale also you can calculate the electronegativity. So electronegativity condition here you can calculate the average. So look at here, electronegativity is the average of ionization energy, electron affinity. So by you can calculate with help of separated ionization energy and electron affinity. You can take average. You can get electronegativity. So look at here, electronegativity. How we can calculate? So ionization energy plus electron affinity by 2 we can take. That is average. Otherwise, sometimes they'll give the units, electron volts, otherwise the kilocalorie per mole or kilocalorie per mole. So depends on unit. We have different formulas also. Mulliken scale, electronegativity values are approximately 2.8 times. 2.8 times will be more than that. 2.8 times of more than that will be given. Millikan scale is applicable for the only univalent ions. It is applicable for the only univalent elements. Univalent elements you can take. Next one. So they given some elements also. You can see the one question, how they will ask question with respect to electron gain and electronegativity. Look at here. The ionization enthalpy of sulfur is given. How much is given? Look at here. The ionization enthalpy of sulfur is given. Next one is if it is electron negativity also given, what is the electron gain enthalpy? So here we have three parameters. Electron negativity is there, ionization energy we have, and electron affinity also we have. Out of these three parameters, any two they'll provide. Some cases they'll provide ionization potential and electron affinity they'll provide. They can ask electron negativity. Otherwise, sometimes they'll provide electron negativity and ionization enthalpy they'll provide. They'll ask electron affinity. So depends on the what they're asking question. What they're asking question that you can follow. Okay, na? Yes, very, very important, Amma. Please remember these two formulas. In periodic classification chapter, a periodic classification of elements. In this chapter, no sums at all. Only theory topic, except electronegativity concept. Except electronegativity concept. In electronegativity concept, we have only small sums like calculation of average, then a calculation of electronegativity. So in electronegativity condition, we have two formulas. One is with the help of Mulliken scale, another one is with the help of Pauling scale. Okay, these two formulas you can remember, you can calculate. So look at the example 3.5. Bond energy of H2, Cl2 and HCl are respectively given. To calculate the Pauling's electronegativity of chlorine. Calculate the electronegativity of chlorine. So average bond energy of H2 and Cl2. With someone waiting in lobby. So look at here. So average of bond energy of H2 and Cl2 is the calculated bond energy of HCl. So you can calculate the average 104 plus 58. You can calculate 2. Same type for chlorine, for hydrogen also. So experimental bond energy is given. Then you can go for the x1 minus x2 equal to square root of delta T into 0.208 is given. Since Pauling's is electronegativity of hydrogen is 2.1. The chlorine is given 0.9. It is calculated. 0.9 is there. Both you can calculate. You can get 3. 3 is for the chlorine it is given. The electronegativity of chlorine also we know. Yes. Like that you can calculate. Okay, na? So the bond energy of hydrogen, chlorine, HCl is given. Calculate the Pauling's electronegativity of chlorine. What is the chlorine electronegativity? For calculation of chlorine electronegativity condition, how we can go for? So electronegativity of hydrogen is given 2.1. Electronegativity of hydrochloric acid is given 0.9. So both you can add, you can get the chlorine. Average bond energy of H2 and Cl2 is given. Calculation of hydrochloric acid. So one is given 104 is there. Another one is 58. Another one is 100 is there. So 104 is hydrogen, 58 is chlorine, 100 for the hydrochloric acid. So these two sums alone we can check it. Maximum it is not there in our NCERT book. For any entrance exam, they will ask. Question number 7, check it. If the electronegativity value of fluorine is given 4, then value of in Millikan scale how much? They will provide value with respect to Pauling scale. They can ask with respect to Millikan scale. So according to electronegativity in Millikan scale is 2.8 times greater than Pauling scale value. So that value with electronegativity can check it 2.8 into 4. So you can calculate easily. So the electronegativity value of fluorine is given with respect to Pauling scale is 4. Then Millikan scale, what will be answer? So with respect to Millikan scale, how much will be there? 2.8 times will be greater. Then you can multiply with 2.8 into 4. So you can calculate 11.2. Next one is, what is the variation in electron negativity in groups and periods? From top to bottom, electron negativity decreases. Period condition increases. Opposite. Okay, na? Yes. Next one here. So in the period, halogens has highest electron negativity value. Alkyl metals has lowest electron negativity value. Alkyl metals will be having less, halogens having more. Highest electron negativity element is fluorine. Next to fluorine, what is there? Oxygen. After then, nitrogen. Least is cesium. 0.7. Noble gas elements have zero electron negativity due to octet configuration. So noble gas elements having zero value due to octet configuration. Next topic you can check it, valency. Okay na? Until I discuss about electron negativity topic. So how we can calculate with help of Pauling scale and Mulliken scale. Electron negativity have no units, ma. So you can compulsory can remember. And period condition, what is the vary? And groups condition. Period condition, okay na, increases, groups condition decreases. Highest electron negativity element is fluorine. Yes, least electron negativity element is cesium. After fluorine, what is the next to fluorine? Oxygen has. After now oxygen, nitrogen and chlorine we have. So halogens having highest electron negativity, alkyl metals having lowest electron negativity. Yes. Next one. Electron negativity values are used to know the nature of chemical bond. If the electron negativity difference is less than 1.7, the bond is covalent in nature. It is equal to 1.7. The bond is 50% ionic nature. More than that, 1.7 is there. The bond is ionic nature. So what I am saying with respect to, yes, electron negativity value. See, listen. If electron negativity difference is less than 1.7, less than 1.7 is, that is covalent nature. More than 1.7 is, that is ionic nature. Equal to 1.7 is there 50% ionic, 50% covalent. Important point. Electron negativity values are used to know the nature of chemical bond. Next topic is valency. Already you people studied in lower classes. Look at here. Valency of an atom, valence of an element is the number of hydrogen atoms that you can write down. Otherwise, double the number of oxygen atoms that can be combined with one atom. The valency of an element is not always constant. Valency of an element is not always constant. Exhibition of more than one valency by one element is known as variable valency. The maximum valency of a respective element is equal to the number of elements present in the outermost orbit of an atom. The maximum valency of representative element is equal to the number of electrons present in the outermost orbit of an atom. Highest valency ever known is 8. Highest valence is weight you can take. That is the ruthenium and osmium. Always highest oxidation number we have osmium, ruthenium, and xenon having. So they will give an example. OSO4 condition. The valency is 8. The valency is they given 8 you can take. After that, ruthenium also we have 8 oxygen. Yes. Look at here 1 second. I will repeat. Valency of an element is the number of hydrogen atoms. The number of hydrogen atoms you can take. The number of hydrogen atoms double the number of oxygen atoms that can combine with one atom of that element. The valency of an element is not only always constant. Exhibition of more than one valency by one element is known as variable valency. So highest valence element is having osmium. Next one you can check it. Covalency. The number of covalent bonds will be formed. Valency and covalency. Covalence condition, the number of covalent bond that you can call covalency. The number of covalent bonds formed by an element that you can say covalency. So they given here NH3 condition covalency for nitrogen is 3. N2O5 condition covalence for nitrogen is 4. Ionic covalency also there and electrovalency also there. Number of electrons transferred, nothing but there, either gain of electrons or loss of electrons. In NAF condition, covalence will be, yes, 1 is there. And ALF3 condition, yes. So look at the given examples. Group 1, what is the valence electrons and valency? And group 2, group 3, group 4, like that. So valence electrons will be, they given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like respect to group number. And valency also same, almost will be similar only. Valency and valence electrons also. But valency after that, you can check it from group 15, 16, 17, 18. We have two valencies there. Minimum valency exhibited by an element is 0. That is, you can check it 0 group elements. Nothing but noble gas elements having, yes, 0 valency. Sorry, 8 elements will be there. 8 you can check it. Next you can check it periodic trends and the valency of elements are shown by the formula of their compound. So they given with respect to formula. Formula of hydrates, formula of oxides. How it was the valency. So with respect to hydrogen condition, valency of an element is the number of hydrogen atoms. So here one hydrogen is there, 1. Double the number of oxygen atom that can be combined with one atom. So here one oxygen atom combined with 2 S. Doubled the number of oxygen atom that can be combined with one atom. So yes, nothing but here, yes, doubled will be there. So nothing but here also one oxygen atom will be, one valence will be there. Next condition, CH2 condition 2, MgO condition 2 you can take. Like that is a given example. You can check it. Using the periodic table, predict the formula of the compounds between an element X, group 13 is there, and another element is given Y, group 16. So you can calculate the valency using the periodic table. Yes, the valency of X is given a group 13, 3. Valency of Y, group 16, 2. Then compound formula you can identify X2 and Y3. So with respect to valency, you can calculate the chemical formula also. Yes. Next topic is oxidation state. Next topic is oxidation state. The possible charge with which an atom appears. Possible charge. Listen once again. The possible charge which an atom appears in a compound is called oxidation state. So what is the charge? Possible charge which an atom appear in a compound is called oxidation state. S block elements oxidation state is equal to group number. That's why they given alkali metals having 1 oxidation state plus 1 oxidation state and alkaline earth elements having plus 2 oxidation state. So S block elements we have two groups. First group and second group. For first group we have plus 1 oxidation state. For second group we have plus 2 oxidation state. Oxidation state may be positive or negative or 0 or fractional. So we have variable numbers. Oxidation state may be positive or negative or fractional. So we have variable maybe positive, maybe negative, maybe 0, maybe fractional. P block elements show multiple valencies. Their oxidation state changed by 2 numbers. So P block elements having multiple valencies. Their oxidation state will be changed by 2 numbers. In 3A group elements, 3A group, the stable oxidation state of the thallium is +1. It is due to inert pair effect. Thallium having +1 oxidation state, it is due to inert pair effect. In 4A group elements, +2 is more stable than +4. 5A group elements, +3 is more stable than +5 due to inert pair effect. And group 4 elements show +2 and +4 oxidation states. Group 5 to showing +5 and +3 oxidation state. So general oxidation state for the group 6 is -2. Generally oxygen show -2 oxidation state. So in it is a compound. But when it combined with fluorine shows +2 oxidation state, +1 oxidation state. Depends on the compound. OF2 condition +2, O2F2 condition +1. So generally oxygen show -2 oxidation state is correct, except fluorine condition. When it is combined with the fluorine showing +1 and +2 oxidation state. Remaining all conditions showing -2. The most electronegative element is fluorine. Already people know. So fluorine shows -1 oxidation state. That's why. So always fluorine having -1 oxidation state. So when it's combined with the fluorine showing oxygen +1 and +2 oxidation state. So comparing with oxygen and fluorine, fluorine is more electronegative than oxygen. Next one is the most electronegative element is fluorine. Already know. The common oxidation state D block elements is +2. All transition elements show variable valencies. Same type. P block elements also showing multiple valencies. Same type here. The common oxidation state is D block elements having +2 oxidation state. All transition elements show variable valencies. Already you people know ruthenium, osmium and xenon exhibit maximum oxidation state. That will be +8 is there. D block elements +1 oxidation state also show. Example they given chromium, copper, silver, gold, mercury. These elements showing +1 oxidation state. Again listen, chromium, copper, silver, Au and mercury. So these elements showing +1 oxidation state. The common oxidation state for the F block elements is +3 due to their outer electron configuration. Maximum oxidation state of an element never exceeds its group number. Maximum oxidation state of an element is never exceeds its group number also they given. Now question listen, what is the valency? Question listen, what is the valency? What is the valency and oxidation number of nitrogen? What is the valency and oxidation number of nitrogen in nitrogen pentoxide? So based on the oxides theory, valency of nitrogen in N2O5 is 5. But the actual valency of nitrogen in N2O5, the number of bonds is formed, N equal to 4. So oxidation number of nitrogen in N2O5 is +5. So what is the valency and oxidation number of nitrogen in a nitrogen pentoxide? So based on the oxide theory, valency of nitrogen in N2O5 is there. 5 is correct. But the actual valency for nitrogen is based on how many bonds formed. So here 4 bonds formed for nitrogen. That's why they represented N equal to 4. So oxidation number will be different. Valency is 4. Oxidation state is +5. Very, very important question. Next one is or the oxidation state of covalency of aluminum in AlCl H2O5 plus 2 oxidation. It will be complex formation. So coordination compound we'll discuss in class 12th. So this complex, the oxidation state, oxidation number of aluminum, so plus 3 and oxidation state is plus 3 and covalence we have 6. Because of 6 bonds will be connection is there. Covalence is the number of covalent bond. Next one is the electropositive nature. The tendency of an element to lose an electron is called electropositive. It is a conversion of electronegativity. As electropositivity increases, metallic character also increases. The smaller the ionization energy or ionization potential, greater is the electropositivity. Nothing but the tendency of an element is the tendency of an element to lose an electron is called electropositivity. Loss one electron, that is electropositivity. So electropositivity increases, metallic character also increases. Smaller the ionization energy and greater the electropositivity. Electropositivity increases. Yes. Capacity to form ionic bond also increases. So variation of electropositivity in group and period. So electropositivity nature increases down the group. Size of atom will be increases. Period condition, electropositivity decreases across the period. The strong electropositive element is cesium. In any period, strong electropositive element is alkali metal. Most electropositive element is cesium. The ions of strong electropositive metal do not undergo hydrolysis. The ions of strong electropositive metal do not undergo hydrolysis. Next topic is metallic and non-metallic character. If an element has low electronegativity and highest electron affinity, highest electropositivity, then it will have highest metallic in nature. If an element has low electronegativity and high electropositivity, then it will have high metallic in nature. The groups of 1A and 2A elements have a strong metallic in nature. The groups of 6A and 7A elements have a strong non-metallic in nature. 1 and 2A, 1A group and 2A group elements having strong metallic group. 6A and 7A group elements having strong non-metallic in nature. On moving from the top to bottom, non-metallic nature decreases, metallic nature will be increases. On moving from left to right in period, metallic nature decreases, non-metallic character will be increases, opposite. So they given order of metallic nature. Alkali metals having high, then alkali metals, then D block element, finally P block element. Those points alone we can remember. Some elements in P show semi-metals are you can say. Examples are given silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium. So these elements you can call metalloids. Again I will repeat: silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium. So these elements you can call metalloids or semi-metals. Next one is acidic and basic nature of oxides. So based on the nature of oxides, are classified into 4 types. So oxides are classified into 4 types: basic oxides, acidic oxides, amphoteric oxides, neutral oxides. So basic oxides, one more name is metal oxides. Basic oxide, one more name is metal oxides. Acidic oxide, one more name is non-metal oxides. Then amphoteric oxides, neutral oxides. So basic oxides are metal oxides. Metal oxides are basic. Example are given: sodium oxide, barium oxide, magnesium oxide, that you can take. In 1A and 2A group, metal oxides are strong bases. Non-metal oxides also given are acidic. They given SO2, P2O5, CO2, P2O3, NO2, acidic anhydride. They given. Oxides of halogens are highly acidic. Oxides of metalloids are amphoteric. So 3 Sb2O3, TeO2, GeO2. These all you can call amphoteric oxides. Some non-metals, some non-metallic oxides are neutral. They do not form acids or bases in water. Some non-metallic oxides are neutral. They do not form acidic as well as bases. Example are given CO, N2O, NO. These all you can call neutral oxides. Some metallic oxides are amphoteric. They will given ZNO, Al2O3, SnO2. So these all you can say amphoteric oxides. Very very important. Oxides they classified into four types: basic oxides, acidic oxides, amphoteric oxides, then neutral oxides. Acidic oxides dissolved in water form acidic solution. Basic oxides dissolved in water form basic solution. So acidic oxide dissolved in water form acidic solution. Basic oxide dissolved in water form basic solution. In group from top to bottom, acidic nature of oxide decreases, basic nature of oxide will be increases. In groups condition, yes, from top to bottom, acidic nature of oxide will be decreases. Basic nature of oxide will be increases. In period condition from left to right, basic nature of oxide will be decreases. Acidic nature of oxide will be increases. Period from left to right, basic nature of oxides will be decreases. Acidic nature of oxide will be increases. So it will be important periodic trends also. Okay, na? Next one is we have diagonal relationship. Diagonal relationship. Listen here. In the periodic table, the first element of a group has similar properties with the second element of the next group. So in the periodic table, the first element of the group. So every group, what is the first element? The first element of the group has similar properties with the second element of the next group. Is called diagonal relationship. Again, listen, the periodic table, the first element of a group has similar properties with the second element of the next group. Example, you can take lithium is the first element. Second element is magnesium. Like that. So having diagonal relationship with these two elements. The diagonal relationship will be disappears after 4 year group elements until 4 year group elements only applicable. The diagonal relationship is due to similar size of atoms or ions. Same electronegativities of participating in elements. Same polarizing power. Valence will be different from the diagonally related pair of elements. Polarizing power of cation is given. Ionic charge of cation by ionic radius of cation. So the elements present under diagonal relationship have very close properties be given. So BeO is amphoteric oxide, Al2O is amphoteric is given, Bu2C is and AlCl4, Al4C3 produce methanol on hydrolysis. So remaining topics will discuss tomorrow. Once again, I will repeat today what I explained. Today what I will repeat once again. After then you stop. Okay, na? Yes. Listen carefully once again. I will repeat. So today's class I will discuss about one is electronegativity. So electronegativity, what is the definition? So listen once again. The tendency of an atom to attract the shared electron pair towards itself in a molecule is called electronegativity. electronegativity, the tendency of an element of an atom to attract the shared electron pair towards itself in a molecule is called electronegativity. So electronegativity, yes, they classified itself of two scales. One is Pauling scale, next one is Mulliken scale. Yes. So with respect to Mulliken condition, electronegativity is equal to ionization potential plus electron affinity by 2 you can take. With respect to Pauling scale, xm minus xp it is equal to square root 2.0 sorry 0.208 into square root delta you can take. Next point, highest electronegativity element is fluorine. Fluorine after then oxygen, after then nitrogen and chlorine. Least is cesium. You can take. Next topic is variation in electronegativity in groups and periods. So groups condition from top to bottom, electronegativity will be decreases. Period condition increases. Next topic is valency. Valency nothing but valency of an element is the number of hydrogen atoms doubled the number of oxygen atoms that can be combined with one atom of the element. One atom of the element. So highest valency every known is 8. That is osmium, ruthenium, and xenon. They having 8 oxidation state. Okay, yes. So now I'll ask question mark. Any doubts is there? Please you can ask. You can reply the answer.